Alright guys, welcome back to the next video. This video we're going to go over, I guess we're going to make the main menu screen a little bit more flashy. I don't think there'll be too many new things here, but just to start right off, I changed the play button to just a regular button instead of an image button like it was before, because for some reason that's the only way I can get it to set a bigger width and height so that the button looks like it should, because I didn't want to redraw the play button to make it bigger, so I just did it like this. So I just set the width to twice the actual image width and height, and it works. So I'll show you guys what that looks like now. Next thing we're going to do is, you can see it's a lot bigger. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to make this title, we're going to give it an action so that it kind of enlarges and shrinks, scales itself so that it looks like it's doing something instead of just sitting here. So to do that, we're just going to give it an action. That's all we have to do. So our title screen, or a title object here, is an image. First thing we have to do is set the origin. And all that is it's the point around which rotation happens, it's the point around which scaling happens. So if you don't, I think the default, if you don't change this, the default is the bottom left corner. So it'll look weird when you scale it. It won't, it'll scale it from the bottom left corner. So we have to set the origin first, then we're going to add an action, actions that repeat. I think there's a forever. Let's get a forever action in here. And then we need the repeated action. So we're going to have a sequence for the repeated action, and the sequence is going to be actions that scale to we're going to scale to 1 point. This is basically 120% of its original, of its normal scale over the course of 1 second. And then we're going to scale to 111, back to the original position over the next 1 second. So let's run this, see what happens. There it is. So now it's doing something. So this is just an example to show you guys how to make it a little bit more dynamic. We can also, one more thing about these actions is, if you want, you can specify another parameter here called an interpolation. And there's all different kinds of interpolations. Right now it's just a linear, if you don't specify anything, it's a linear interpolation, so it just goes from, it's like a straight line from 100% to whatever you put here. But we can make it get there in a different way. For example, I'll do an elastic interpolation, and then I'll also make it shrink down elastically, and we'll see how that looks here. Okay, so it's a little herky-jerky. It's not that smooth. transition. But yeah, you get the idea. You can do all kinds of different things with the actions. Let's try this fade one. Usually works out for me. Another thing we're going to do is we're going to move the button so it doesn't just appear there, just to show you guys how you would do that. And what we can do is we can override the show method of our screen. I don't need this super show because it doesn't do anything. And we can take the play button here. So this is basically anytime the screen gets set, anytime the main menu screen gets shown, we're gonna do something here, and we're going to head action move by. We're going to move it 100 pixels off the bottom of the screen. And this is an instant action. There's no time parameter. We only have two parameters, X and Y. The next one we could specify a time, but since we don't, this happens immediately. And then we're going to give it another action, move by 0 back 100 to where it started, where its starting position is, over the course of, let's just say 1 second. And we'll give it a sign interpolation. Let's try this out. So there you go. This button just kind of comes up from the bottom. Title is bouncing. And there's the game. Just to be safe here, I'll put a clear actions. I don't know that that's actually needed, but I'll do that anyways. Let me move this further away from the top. Just an arbitrary number. 100. I think maybe that's too much. And you could also do like a rotate action if you wanted. But I think you get the idea with this. You can do a lot of different things to make it look more dynamic. Next thing. Yeah, I guess I'll leave it the next, I want to make it so that you can start the game over when you die, but I'll stop the video here. We're at 9 minutes, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.